Hello!
Hi, everybody. We're here.
We are here after a...
What happened? Tell us, like... That was really interesting.
So, I mean, from your guys' perspective, everything looks great and set up. But on our end, when we tried to do the stream last week, I know a lot of you guys were already ready for the stream, and like even one of my fans canceled her doctor's appointment.
Wonderful. Like
for the stream last week.
Yes. We have to pay, to reimburse the doctor's charges.
For the insurance and all that stuff. So we're really sorry about that last week, first of all. But, we had everything completely set up, ready to go 10 minutes before the stream went live.
We have predators here in Encino, California. I don't know where you guys are from, but this is the danger zone. Like a few weeks ago, I saw at 7 o'clock in the morning, full light, here in my yard, a fully grown wolf has a rabbit in his mouth and walking. So, it's dangerous out there. But luckily enough, as you could see, we are here in my studio in California, and we are surrounded by good vibes and very strong walls. So I think we're protected for now.
For now.
Yep.
Well, what actually had happened was something had chewed through or just destroyed the internet or the cable lines outside, like not even on your property, just like somewhere farther away, and it took everything down right before we went live, and you were out of internet for a while.
For a while. But, we love animals, so,
Yes.
whoever squirrel did it, we still love you.
Still love you.
No offense.
just make sure you don't chew anything today.
Exactly.
Where are you guys from? Everyone in the chat right now. I know we are actually on front page feature right now.
Wow.
And
Thank you, Jimmy.
thank you so much, Jimmy. Shout out to Jimmy at Twitch.
Exactly.
And anyone who is tuning in and coming into the stream from front page, if you have no idea what you're watching yet, this is the legendary Inon Zur. I'll let you introduce yourself how you like to introduce yourself, but then I'll introduce you how the rest of us see you.
Well, my name is Inon Zur, and I am a tank commander. It's my first job. What? Yeah.
It's you may laugh, but it's true. That was your actual first job ever.
Exactly. Between 84 to 88, I was a tank commander in the Israeli army. But then I never really lost hope to sometimes becoming a composer. And, so we moved here to the United States, and 20 years later, or actually 30 years later, we're here. I am a media composer, composing for games primarily. I think you can be familiar with some of my work, the Fallout series, which includes Fallout Tactics, Fallout 4, Fallout 3, Fallout 76.
New Vegas.
And Fallout New Vegas. Not in that order.
Fallout 4.
Exactly. Hey. Prince of Persia, 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Crisis, Dragon Age 1, Dragon Age 2, SOCOM. And even older games like Icewind Dale 2 and Baldur's Gate, Throne of Baal. So, few games.
Mm-hmm. There were even, actually...
Siberia 2, Siberia 3. I could just keep on going, I guess.
When I had looked up Inon's IMDb page, it took me about 3 days to get through everything. So, I mean, Inon mentioned a couple of them. But there's a few other ones that I know a lot of my fans really love, and a lot of viewers love too. Lord of the Rings, War in the North.
That's true. Yep.
That was an amazing one. Soul Calibur 5. I was a big Soul Calibur fan.
Dragon's Dogma.
Mm-hmm. Dragon's Dogma. Sword Coast Legends. A bunch of Rift.
Yes.
A lot of Rift titles.
Mm-hmm.
EverQuest.
Lots of EverQuest.
Oh yeah.
There was a time in my life that this is what I did. EverQuest.
And consecutively, or
Yes, basically like one after the other, since most of them, basically EverQuest 1 and EverQuest 2, I worked on both of them, so I've just moved from one to another, so it was kind of interesting.
I saw some that I had no idea that you did. Naruto Rise of the
Oh
Ninja.
yeah, I did actually 2 Narutos.
Oh,
Yeah.
to me that's insane. Going from some of the bigger games that I really really grew up with, like all the Fallout games and Dragon Age. But like, how did you switch for, like, what other games were you working on around the same time as the Naruto ones? Like,
I mean, this is actually really helping me because usually in a year I'm working on 5 to 6 games or even more, and they're completely different, and that's the beauty of it, because I could just switch. If everything would have been the same, then like, did I write this battle for this dragon or for this dragon, or did I? It's like, no, it's. Oh, most of the games that I'm working are very, very different, and you could see, on the list that I'm doing, and it's actually the cool thing about it that you could bring elements from one score to the other, or ideas, and this way the score becomes not generic. Oh, it is Lord of the Ringish. Oh, it is Falloutish. No. It's basically sort of like a combination of a lot of sounds, melodies, harmonies, and rhythmical idea that I've sort of like collected throughout the years, and I'm adapting these ideas to the different scores in the given style. So that's what creates, and I heard people says like, this and this theme. Oh, I could hear some Fallout in there. Oh, I could hear some Dragon Age. Duh, of course you will, because this is what I'm writing. I mean, this is my handwriting. So not that I don't, I always try to advance. I always try to sort of like renew my style and learn new things. But all in all, I mean, I have my own handwrite. So
yeah, but from going from project to project and like taking influences that you either like researched or learned or just absorbed during this project to the next one, what about before all of those projects? Like, what were some places or sources that you just that I guess influenced the Inon Zur style? Because it's
many. Really, really good question, and I always try to combine few elements. The first element is the classical element. I grew up since I was like zero years old. I grew up on classical music, and my parents played over and over again Beethoven, Mozart, Bach, Rachmaninoff, you name it. And I've gotten very, very attached to this style of music, and this is how I was growing up. And when I was in my teens, I also studied rigorously music theory and composition, classical. So I was totally immersed in the classical scene. But then after that, I became familiar with jazz, and I love jazz. And I started to learn how to play jazz. And, and after that, I started to go and study some music for media and stuff. So I already brought with me like a lot of influences. However, there are few sources that I always keep in mind. One of them obviously is the classical one. The other one is the ethnical one. So important. I really love the ethnic elements. If you listen to the score in Dragon Age, in Siberia, or in Fallout, there will be always some kind of ethnicity or ethnic elements that I'm going to insert. The interesting thing is sometimes I don't really want to pronounce what kind of ethnicity, but the sound is really rough and primitive, and you could see, I mean, I could give you some examples here. This is, for example, a genuine instrument from Australia, and it's being played by some people there, and I don't really sure how they do it, but I have my own way to play it, and this instrument is one of the stars in the score of Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. I don't want to scare you because this is really loud, so I'm not going to play it right now, okay? This is sort of like a didgeridoo, but it's it's like really, really sort of like a small one.
Mm.
You know, it sounds great when you're singing through it. And it's pretty amazing how it sounds. I always like to use, you know, for example, the pan flute is always great because of the airiness. You know, all these things. Sometimes I just record the air,
Just the air.
you know, on it, and without any real pitch. I've been just brought a special flute from Slovenia, I think. And it's really interesting thing. You see that you don't even know how to, like, you know, because it doesn't have it, but I kind of learn.
Oh, downward.
You know, so it's pretty interesting, and all these instruments are basically starring in my scores. You know,
people are loving your flute playing. You can see the emote. So I mean, Inon is well, fairly new to social media, but also like brand new on Twitch, which is why this is also really special to share. Yes, to share with you guys. And so one of the big things is emotes. Like, of course, like on our phones we have like the emojis and stuff, but on Twitch it's to a completely another level. There's like some of my face, like there's that one that's like I'm wearing a pirate hat. Why? I don't know.
All right.
But it's that's like, so a lot of people show love and support for the stream and for the streamer and the people using emotes and that kind of stuff.
You know, and again, creating. I mean, you could see. I mean, we are showing you a little bit of my secret studios, but in this studio, the music. I mean, I'm here in this studio for the last 11 years or 12 years, so you could imagine like how many famous themes were composed here in this studio, from Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, Prince of Persia, Dragon Age Origin, Dragon Age 2. You name it, everything was composed here. And you see all these screens. I actually really need them. You know? It's not there. They're just
not an obsession.
Like exactly, because I'm using a lot of computer slaves to give me the most up-to-date music libraries, so I could just move fast.
And I mean, for terminology, just so you guys know, when we say like the master slave workstations, it's just there's like a master computer. I assume where you have your Keybase running.
That's true. Yes.
And then the slave machines are either in a are they in this room or are they in like,
well, they're hidden in closets inside there. So definitely a lot of involvement in, you know, how to produce a sound and how to get it to the optimum and how to mix it in a way that it'll really sound great. I mean, today I'm sure that a lot of you, our viewers, are also avid gamers, and you really deserve to get the best, not only the best music, but also the best production. Many times we will record live orchestra. I recorded many times at Abbey Road. I recorded in Prague. I recorded a lot of times in Budapest. And of course here,
and a lot of times
LA.
right here.
Exactly.
You guys can't see. You could kind of see in a little sliver of the window, but there's a beautiful, a beautiful room for recording, right on the other side of that glass. So I guess for all of these, over a decade of writing for those games, meanwhile I was playing those games, and a lot of you guys, because as you know, like Twitch is so obviously game heavy, and so many,
of course,
video game fans, and so it's like, it's not often, it's actually super rare that someone like you, someone who has worked on all these games that we've loved playing, that we still love playing over all this time, that you're taking the time out of your insanely busy schedule to do this. Well, so, I mean, thank you from me, but also from,
you know, I mean, it's all really, really worth it. In fact, I'm so happy and honored to be in front of all the the viewers, because if people are asking me like, all right, so what is like the best award you got? And I have an Emmy and I have many BAFTA nominations and I have the best reward I could get if one person, okay, will just write me on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitch, that my music was like he or she were able to connect emotionally to this music. That's the best reward. We are, as a composer, I am working alone here. Right now, this is what you see, and I'm here all by myself all day. And so just the feeling that somebody really listening to the music and somebody really enjoying it. And it actually makes a difference and it matters to someone. This is the best reward, I could think about.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because I mean, how many hours would you say on average you spend in
about 10.
10?
10 hours.
That's a good amount. And then
but there's just a lot to write.
Yeah, there's but then of course, like at the end of each of your work days, like you're right, you don't know who is currently like playing something and listening to the music that you
and this is the difference between an artist or a singer or a player or musician that's staying on stage and is in front of all, but we composers, we also crave and need this attention and we don't really get it because we're just always behind the scene. So what we get is these, sometimes when people even when they don't like the music and they write about it,
that still feels good.
It's not feeling good, but at least somebody really taken notice. And it's really, really important. Should we there are many questions. I think
we have a couple. I've been hogging up all the question times, but we have some questions that a bunch of you have sent in from when we were trying to do the stream last week. And also if you guys have questions in the chat as well, I'm doing my best to look everywhere.
We'd love to answer some questions and just talk to everybody.
You want to sure, let's see. From Ellie.
Ellie Alberg. Hi Ellie.
Hi Ellie.
I hope you're there, because finally we are here.
Finally we're here.
And you are in Sweden.
Okay, so that's pretty late right now.
Yeah, no, but she could be awake now.
Okay. Ellie says, can you talk about where you think the video game industry is going, and also the positives and negatives about it for composers?
It's a really great question. And, well, obviously, they're going to be next gen, and we all know that. Right. But it matters less. Obviously, VR is going to grow, but it matters less. The real deal that I believe will make the new big stage and step will be when machine learning will have to start taking more active part in computer games. And basically what we are going to try to do probably in the next 10 years is try to personalize each game that a player will feel after a few hours of playing that this game was actually carved for him or her. This really is the future of the future, but this cannot be done right now with the current machinery we have. However, we're already working and thinking ahead. And just imagine, just from a music perspective, that instead of a score that is being coded inside the game, there is nothing. But there is a huge amount of music that was scored for the game, but with many variations and many styles. And it sits somewhere in a hard drive. And the machine actually, instead of automatically plays, nothing is being coded. Machine is getting the way you are playing. Machine is learning what you like. And the machine actually will see and will follow you, and the next time you'll play, it's already going to call cues that you already liked.
Whoa.
And it already going, now let's say that you are really sort of like an adventurer and you're running and you're shooting and you're doing really fast. Again, it's going to learn what music to adapt to you.
Wow.
Let's think that you are, more cautious and you like to hide. Or let's say that you're an explorer, okay? That all you got to do is like explore and see the beauty and stuff. The machine will, really identify it and adapt to it. Again, I'm not talking tomorrow or in a year or 2 years, but in few years, if you ask what the real future is personalizing. Each game is going to be so versatile with machine learning that it could adapt, again, on the basis. The story is not going to change. The game is going to stay the same game. However, the style of the game, how it treats you. So you could say in a way that I'm going to be playing the game, but the game is also going to be playing me. And
then if we both played the same game, by the end of it, it's like I had my own experience.
Exactly. And after a while, you will save basically your own version of the game. I know it sounds crazy, and might is, but actually, people are already talking about it, and this is very, very interesting notion that the people that are sort of like really in-depth games are starting to see how we could do that.
Wow.
So, there you go.
That's
the future.
Insane. Let's see. From Charlie, what is your best advice in getting your name and music out to the public?
Actually, today is much easier than what used to be. When I was starting in the 90s, early 90s, I had to send CDs.
Right, physically.
Or physical CDs or cassettes, in the mail or FedEx or whatever for somebody to listen. Today you have YouTube, you have Spotify, you have all these amazing, you could just put yourself out there with no problem. And I really recommend for every composer, write all the time.
All the time.
And the second, just put it out there. Start to build your own supporters and fans. Start to have sort of like almost like a what, maybe every week post something with new music. This is the best way. And then obviously you got a network. If you want to compose music for computer games, then you need to start networking with people that are working. But overall, if you want to be recognized as a composer, you got to write. You got to write a lot. And also, you got to put yourself out there. And obviously, YouTube is the best vehicle for that because everybody could just log and, you don't need to do anything.
Right.
And listen. So
what's kind of interesting for you guys watching, like from where Inon is coming from also, like, because you've worked on all these huge games and game franchises and also like TV and film, and so you've like already done and are still doing all of that awesome work, and then and only more recently, like, you've found a little bit of time to get on to YouTube and actually because we want to see where the fans are and just who's playing the games and what they.
I must admit, I am really the worst when it comes to social media.
You're doing great right now.
Well, I mean, thank you.
I'm helping a little bit.
Yeah, no. I mean, really. And the reason is not that I don't appreciate it. I just don't have the time to spend on social media and with social media. So I apologize. But I was not really, able to really connect with lots of people on social media. So this is, I mean, again, as a composer, I guess I need to do it more.
Well, you're here now on it, and so you guys, Thunder, do you have the social links as well? Inon is now on YouTube, which is youtube.com/Inon Zur official. You're also on you're everywhere now. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And of course, all of your work is also on Spotify, Apple Music, and everywhere.
Right.
And I mean, a couple fun announcements that we wanted to talk about today.
Yes.
the juicy stuff.
Yeah.
One that I've personally been extremely excited about is, Inon has been working on all these games, and but all of that ends up being pushed out with the games, obviously, because that's how it works. Finally, for the first time, I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. You have put together your first original album that is not connected with any game or project, right? It's just you.
That's true.
Sort of.
But exactly. Yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay.
Because the answer is this. Yes, I have come up with a new album.
Yeah.
And I was very, very fortunate to have Sony Masterworks behind me on this. Thank you, Sony. It's really a huge honor for me to be part of the Sony family, and they have shown amazing support and understanding for what I'm trying to do. And the album itself, yes, it is original, but it is actually being dedicated first to gamers, specifically gamers who like fantasy games.
Yeah.
And even more specifically, games who liked the soundtracks for Dragon Age 1 and 2. And I think that you will find a lot of reminiscence in the music in the album from these games. Do you want to give them a little example of what I'm talking about?
Sure. Which one?
Well, actually, why don't we play something from Dragon Age?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. We're remember when I told you about raiding and hosting? So right now, one of my good friends, Chewy, he's an amazing piano player who's also streaming on Twitch, just brought all of his viewers over to your stream.
Well,
right now. And so,
hi
so
everybody!
They're all saying
Huge
hi.
honor. Well, I think it's a great time because one thing is like I met Jason just by a fluke 2 weeks ago, and I've heard a lot, about what he does. But one thing that I didn't realize that he is an amazing violinist. And he just came here with his violin and he played me, and I was like, what's going on? And I said to him, can you maybe learn some of the music that I wrote, and maybe we could do it together, and maybe even we could do it live on Twitch? And he said yes.
Oh,
so
it's a huge honor, obviously, for me. Side note, but
then you have a premiere. A few things that we're going to play today.
Yeah.
And it's for the first time we're going to play as a solo piano and solo violin a few of my work that you're very familiar with. I think the first one maybe we should do I Am the One.
Yeah.
If you remember, I Am the One is one of the most famous songs from Dragon Age Origin. And should we?
How many of you guys in the chat played any of the Dragon Age games? Who of you are authentic Dragon Age fans? Yeah, a bunch. Yeah, a lot of people raising their hands.
Well, there you go. You have a treat because, as you could probably will hear, Jason is elevating this song to more, even higher fidelity, shall we say. So I'm going to turn my back to you, so please accept my apology.
Yeah. It's we can't really get an angle from that side, so let's switch the audio and make sure if everything is good.
First time. We're going to try. It's more of improv, I guess.
Yeah, we're just jamming it out right now.
Exactly. So let's see how this will work.
Thank you.
Yes, this is just amazing for me to,
For me.
you know, just collaborate with amazing musicians like Jason. And I could say that over the course of the last 4 years, when I worked on the album, I did collaborate with amazing musicians, performers.
Oh, yeah.
And first and foremost, yeah, my partner in crime, Ian Nikas, is sitting here. You don't see him, but he's here, and he also was. You saw his hand. And we collaborated on most of the songs in the album, and he did an amazing job writing with me and mixing and producing it. So I probably wouldn't be able to do it without him. I worked with amazing singers, like Aubrey Ashburn, Early, Brighton, Mimi Page, Lisbeth Scott. She's amazing. You remember her voice from Avatar. Ariel, an upcoming singer and amazing May Claire LaPlante. She is just young and promising singer. Really just amazing singers. And then obviously Tina Guo.
Yeah, we love Tina.
The amazing cellist who you probably already heard on the first song, and Caroline Campbell, just great violinist.
Yeah, from the Into the Storm single. Mods, can you grab that link also? Is that the first track in the album as well?
Yes, exactly.
So
and the whole album actually is being called after the song Into the Storm.
So that song, the whole album, from what I've heard, is amazing. But there's already a music video for Into the Storm.
Right, and also the song Shalaya is out. We still don't have the video, but
it's coming.
It's coming. Aubrey Ashburn, who you remember singing "I Am the One," what we performed in many other Dragon Age songs, is singing Shalaya. Did an amazing job. And the secret about Shalaya is that this song actually was written during the time that I've composed the music for Dragon Age. And I wrote this song, and I have decided just to put it aside.
Okay.
And it's sort of like it was my secret sort of gem that I didn't want to put in to give away into the game, and really wanted to keep to myself, and waited for the right time to release, and that was now the right time.
It's now.
So the song Shalaya is also already on Spotify, Apple, everywhere, Amazon, YouTube, so you could enjoy it.
Cool.
Any more questions we want to add?
Yeah, let's see. Do we have any? We could do. Thank you guys for sending in all the questions, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, we're not. But by the way, you could just keep in touch with me on my social and keep on asking, and we'll try to answer all these questions if it's not going to be live this session.
Yeah, here is a little more tech-oriented
Oh,
question.
we like tech.
Yeah, we love tech.
There you go.
From Juan, how much mixing and mastering do you do in your mock-ups, even knowing that you are going to record the whole thing with a live orchestra?
Great question, Juan. And again, today's technology, with the technology and with the high level of all the equipment comes a lot of expectation. So when I'm producing a track, even though it is a mock-up, I am doing my best that it will sound the best. And I'm almost taking into consideration that it will be never recorded live. If after that we're recording it live, then great, it'll sound better. But I am producing it with the full, intention that it will be just sounding the best that it could sound. So mixing, yes. Mastering, yes.
He does it all.
Everything, definitely.
Awesome.
Mostly important.
Hey Thunder, can you just write out a couple of the chat questions here in chat, and I'm gonna read. Let me at least pick.
Maybe we could do one more from here.
Sure. Let's see. From Sid, do you have a personal favorite game franchise, and not necessarily one that you worked on?
Interesting. Well, Uncharted is a really game franchise that I was always in love with, and I love the music of Greg Edmondson. He just did amazing job on Uncharted.
Oh yeah.
But other than this, sorry, I mean I really like Fallout.
Yeah, we really like Fallout.
So
okay, we have some from the chat right now. If there was another AAA Prince of Persia game, would you be interested in doing the music for it?
I'd love to.
Yeah?
Yes. Of course. Prince of Persia is one of the beloved. And it's interesting because I came from the Middle East. So, and there's a lot of elements in Prince of Persia that are from the Middle East. So it's not only easy, it's almost like coming back home. And so for me, using all the ethnic instruments like duduk, you know, like the doumbek, you know, like the special Arabic violin, all these instruments and the modes and the sounds from this world is just really amazing. And sure, I'd love to.
Good. That's the answer we wanted to hear too. From, let's see, another question. What advice do you have for someone working for a computer game company with big names and by myself for the first time? So advice you have for I guess someone who's currently working for a video game company.
For the first time, and if composing the music, first always say yes.
Always say yes.
They want you to do something, do it. They want you to do it. You know, they tell you to do it today, you'll do it today. You know, deadlines basically are your sacred time. So if there is a deadline, always do it few days before. If it's today, then few hours before. Do it yesterday.
Do it yesterday. Yeah, I have it.
Really, you have to show devotion. You have to show a lot of ability to do a great teamwork. You're not on your own, even if you think that you're a great composer, it doesn't matter. And even if you are a great composer, the most important thing when you're working, and it doesn't matter even if it's a AAA company or just a startup.
Yeah.
You have to understand that when you're composing music for a game, it's first, the game comes first, and then your music. You have to serve the game. You have to understand what the game is all about. You really need to investigate and to ask questions and to get immersed into the game's world so you could do the best job, and always listen. Listen to criticals, you know, listen to people, listen to advice. If it's the first time, you have so much to learn. I'm learning, even if, you know, I composed over 100 games already, and I am learning so much, and every day.
I'm every time. Well, now it's only been 2 weeks since I met Inon, but even in just that short amount of time, I learned like 100 things every time you like say something.
Well, again, you know, it's just many years and a lot of music, and also working with a lot of companies. I mean, I'm working even today with numerous amount of companies, and each one of them is different. And I'm working with Chinese companies, I'm working with Japanese companies, I'm working with European companies, and obviously with American companies, Canadian companies, you name it, Israeli companies, you know, people that I know that I'm working with. Mentalities are totally different. You have to really adjust to each company and the mentality of the, you know, the place that people are working, and it's just an amazing journey.
Wow. I also wanted to bring up that there's a pretty special project that dropped today.
Oh,
right?
What is it?
By the way, I have always been a huge Elderscrolls fan, and I know, chat, you can confirm what I just said. But yeah, Inon did the score for Elderscrolls Blades, and that soundtrack just came out today. Right? Yeah.
That's true. And Elder Scroll obviously is huge
Yeah.
franchise, and whatever happened with Elder Scroll before is still Elder Scroll. You could play Skyrim, you could play Oblivion, you could play all these games and still enjoy. They're still great. The games that or the game that we're working today are not necessarily, they are continuing the heritage, but there are some differences, and I'm sure that people that loved the previous games would love these games, even though it's a mobile game.
Yeah.
And it's a different experience. I think that I was able to find sort of like the middle way. I have huge amount of respect to Jeremy Soule,
Yeah.
and what he did on the previous games are amazing.
Uh-huh.
And Jeremy will always be the sort of like the founder of the music of Elder Scrolls,
Right.
and nobody will take it away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Every title is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Every game is a little different. Every game is calling for a little different sort of touch.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been brought on this game. It doesn't say anything about any other titles.
Right.
And I tried to follow his footsteps up to a point.
Yeah.
And then I sort of like applied
The
my
Inon
own
touch.
my own touch. I think that the combination came out pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty happy with the outcome, and I hope everybody's
hope
gonna
you guys-
like it.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, do you want to premiere something else?
Yeah, we could try it.
Yeah, let's try it.
It only
That's
came out
another
today,
thing.
so-
Exactly. It only came today. Jason just learned it 1 hour ago.
Yeah.
So let's try it. We're gonna attempt.
We'll attempt. I have my. I wrote down a couple notes. I was like, on the way over here, and I was like, okay, maybe I should try to learn it. really
so
quick.
we're gonna attempt playing the main theme for Elder Scrolls Blade.
Yeah.
You could hum in the chorus if you want, and help us out here. Help Jason.
I swear we will hear you guys.
Exactly.
All right, switching over to. What do you guys think? I've so far. I mean, obviously since it came out today, I've listened to a couple of the tracks already. Amazing job.
Well, thank
of
you.
course. and I'm excited to play the game as well. Any of you have questions about Elder Scrolls Blades or about Inon's score?
Yeah, feel free. Bash me out.
How long did it take, or like from beginning to delivery? How long would you say, if you're able to say?
I mean, I think that I worked on it about a year and a half.
Okay.
It's not the usual, because usually when I'm working on major titles like the Fallout series, it takes about 4 years for me to write all the score and for the game to develop. So, like Fallout, for example, started. Came out in 2016. I started working on it in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, and 76 and all the other. So it's really long development with Blades. It's just a smaller game because it's a mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just really amazed on the way it actually looks on on a phone. The graphics is nothing like anything I saw before on a phone. So Bethesda did, as usual, an amazing job, and Bethesda is always pioneering things. I know that sometimes not everybody is agreeing with things that they're doing, but they are really always will be a visionary company. And there are so many other things coming down the line that all of you could expect.
That you can't talk about.
That I cannot really talk about.
From Thundergrub, how do you take such a well-established theme and make it your own and fit the new game that isn't even finished?
It's a great question.
Yeah, there's a lot of I guess timeline things of like.
But first and foremost, again, everybody knows da 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 da. That's the theme. Mm-hmm. It's like the Fallout da da da. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, but that one's your
exactly. So it's an established theme. Mm-hmm. Blades is a different sort of route of Elderscrolls family. Mm-hmm. So we have decided to take something and to write something that has some elements of the main Elderscrolls theme, but do our own work on it. So, if you will listen to both themes, you will find a lot of resemblance, but
and a lot of different.
It's a little different. So, in one word, challenging.
Yeah. I'm
Very
sure.
challenging.
Whereas, like for me, like for like all of the Fallout music you did, it's like 100. It's just. It's like I love the Fallout games and all of the scores that you've done for it, and like the theme for Fallout 4 is like one of my favorite of all time. And any other, let's see, did you want to try playing
one more?
One more.
Everybody, somebody wants to. Well, you know what? I'm all for it. Any requests? We're taking requests.
I was thinking of doing the main theme.
Oh,
from
Dragon Age.
From Dragon Age.
Well, let's try that.
And I sort of learned a little bit of it, but let's try.
Okay,
let's try
again,
it.
it's an attempt.
It's an attempt.
All right, so be merciful on us.
Let's see if I remember how we started it.
Exactly.
Switch.
What if?
Oh, I'm stuck.
thank you for listening. These are definitely magical times for me because repeating these melodies that I didn't play and I didn't listen for such a long time just bring me back. But the album that is going to be out now and we could announce, right?
Oh, can we?
I think. Can we announce when the album is out, Ian?
I don't know. The
Soon?
pre-save is on. There's a link for a pre-save. That
Should we
be
tell
coming up.
them? Should we not tell
And,
them?
I
and the
can't
single's
make
out,
that
and
call.
the Into the Storms video is out on YouTube
So let's just say that the album is coming out very soon.
very soon.
And
Yeah.
we're going to follow with an appropriate, message
Yeah,
about
and
that.
Proper news, but I mean, the good news is also that now that you are on social media, that
finally.
that everyone will be able, you guys will be able to know when, and you can get a preview of it now with all of the tracks that are out now.
Exactly.
And yeah, hope you guys like it because Inon gave me a little preview of some of the other songs, and it's I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that, again, if you are familiar with my work, like Liliana's song and other songs from Dragon Age specifically, I think that you will find this album sort of like you will find it familiar in a way, but then it takes a departure to a different place that I hope you will learn to love.
Awesome. And I guess the last question also, I guess from me and I think on behalf of everyone watching too, is like how they want to know how often they will see you on Twitch. How often will you be live? Like kind of.
We're going to try to Twitch every week, and for the next 2 months, I think.
Okay.
Every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Hopefully, it'll be comfortable for people, and they won't need to cancel any doctor's appointments.
And hopefully no animals.
And
chew
no
on your
animals is
internet
chewing on
again.
the internet. I think that we're going to share a lot of every week. There are going to be new things and new news because things are evolving quite fast here in the world of my compositions. So we could tell you every week something new about new games coming, new compositions. We could play some of them, and I think that there's just a lot to look forward to, and I feel honored to be part of the whole thing. So thank you for joining me.
We're honored as a Twitch streamer fan and just a video game fan. On behalf of everyone on Twitch, also thank you for taking the time to do this too. I mean, to specify, you're saying every Thursday at least for
The next 2 months,
and then
we'll see.
Yeah, could be surprises.
Could be to be continued. But
Special-
we'll see.
special
I'm very busy as of now, working
Understatement.
on some unannounced new titles, and I cannot really wait to share with you some of the new titles I'm working with, but we will have to wait.
Cool. Well, I think we should probably let you get back to work.
Exactly.
We've taken up too much of your time.
Well, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you, Jason, for an
Thank you,
amazing
Inon.
job. Amazing violinist, and really did a lot of justice to what I'm writing, and I cannot really wait to really collaborate with you actually on a
likewise.
real score.
I'm ready.
Okay, well then expect a call.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching. It's gonna get back to work, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Make sure to follow on all of the links. Mods, if you could kind of just paste that one more time so they know where to finally find Inon. And we'll see you guys soon.
See you soon.
Bye guys.
Bye.